My name's Nikki, and today we're doing Curious Kids from Home, and we're going to be talking about fire safety. So next week, October 4th through the 9th, is Fire Safety Week. So fire safety is all about keeping your home safe, keeping you safe from fires, and just fire prevention in general. So we're going to start this video with a tour of our local fire department. So here we go.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks.
Welcome to Seymour Fire Department, Station 1.
Nice to see you guys.
Good to see you. Here's Sparky over here. He's ready for you.
Awesome.
My name's Battalion Chief Walker. This is Seymour Fire Department, Station 1, and we're B shift. Today, we're just going to give you a tour of Station 1 and let you know kind of some of the activities that happen here. We come into work at 7 a.m. We're here for 24 hours. And we leave tomorrow at 7 a.m. So we have house chores and things we have to do. Our stations are set up somewhat like a home. You can see this is our living room. We have an area over in the corner where guys can study their classes. Our officers can sit and do their reports. And you can see we've got 6 recliners. Usually there's 6 guys here. We've got a TV over here. We have a communication station to keep our radios charged up so we can communicate with other stations and other agencies. And that's pretty much it in this room, and Sparky's going to lead you to the kitchen. Hello, I'm Firefighter Gear. This is our kitchen. So, like Battalion Chief Walker said, we're here from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we do all our cooking here. We'll cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And just kind of look like what maybe you see at your own house. A few of the safety tips, especially with stoves. There'll be gas or electric, like this one's gas. So main thing you gotta worry about, you don't want to play with these knobs and turn the gas on because you have gas coming into the room and any type of spark will set that off. Another thing is obviously heat. You never want to touch hot pans. You never want to put your hands up around any of this stuff because you get really burned. Also, another thing that's important to have close next to the kitchen, like we have here, we have an ABC fire extinguisher, so that'll cover your papers, your plastics, cover flammable liquids, and also electrical fire. So that is something to have close by. But yeah, so that's pretty much. You know, we're here together for 24 hours. Another interesting thing, kids always wonder what this is. This is all the streets in the Seymour city limits. And as a new firefighter, within your first year, you have to be able to identify, you have to draw and label every street in the city. And you'll have a 6-month test and a year test, and you'll have to do that on the test. So that's something you do when you start here. So.
Awesome.
Outside of that, that's pretty much all in the kitchen.
Do you guys have any favorite snacks or favorite foods that you make?
Ice cream. Yeah,
ice cream?
We eat a lot of ice cream. So.
Awesome. So. Ice cream?
Sparky loves ice cream.
Great. Let me do a little.
Sparky, why don't you take him to our fitness center? Hey guys, how are we doing today? This is our fitness center where we try to stay fit because we have a lot to do in our daily activities as far as what could be required from us. So we use dumbbells, we have a treadmill, we have a row machine, we have a Smith machine, and we also have the preacher curl machine. This is where guys will spend a couple hours a day working on their physical fitness so that they're ready for when the next call comes out.
Awesome. Can you tell me what a Smith machine is? I've never heard of that.
Smith machine is a machine that just keeps the weight controlled so that you can lift by yourself.
So it's a little safer.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Where are we going next?
here, Sparky will take you into the bedroom.
Thank you.
Hey there, you're now in our bedroom, station 1. So, unlike at your house where you may have an individual bedroom or maybe you share with one of your siblings, we share with all 6 of us that are here. So as you can see, our beds, some of them are made, some of them aren't. This is my bed. These are Murphy beds, and we call them Murphy beds because when we're done with them, we can simply fold them up, and they're kind of noisy, and we lock them in, and they're out of the way, and then we can use this room as a conference room or a training area. So one of the things we're going to simulate or let you see is how it works if we're able to sleep at night. Once all of our chores and everything are done, in the evenings, guys can come over here in the bedroom. They can spend quiet time over here. They can FaceTime their families, make phone calls, maybe do some homework. So what we're going to do is about 9:30, guys usually start going to bed. Once you go to bed, all the lights are out. If we get a call, the tones go off and all the lights come on. So we're going to shut the lights off. It's going to get dark, and you'll get to see what it sounds like and looks like when the tones do go off.
Oh yeah, this is actually the fire department. Can we get a tone test, please? Tone test only.
So you heard the tone go off, the lights came on, and then the dispatcher comes across and tells us the information we need to know. Today it was a tone test. Most of the time it would be something like, Seymour Fire Department, Seymour Police Department, we need you to respond to a medical assist at 123 Main Street. So then it would be our decision, the battalion chief, as which truck we send or how many trucks we send. So that's pretty much our bedroom. And then Sparky's going to take you out to the engine bay where we keep our engines, and we're going to show you Firefighter Shoemaker putting on all of his gear and explaining how his gear works.
Sounds good.
This is Firefighter Shoemaker. He's going to show you all of his gear and how it works.
Alright, first things first, I put my hood on. This is going to protect my neck, my face. I'll put my face shield on. Next, put my shoes off. Put my bunker pants on. Slide them up. Sure it's good. Bend that. Coat on. Snip all the way. Make sure it's all good and seal off. Put this around the neck. Take the hat on.
Now once he has all of his gear on, you will not see any exposed skin. And that's the goal, is to cover all of your skin. He's putting on his face shield, his mask right now, and that'll connect this hose to the air tank on his back, and he'll be able to breathe clean air. So he's got his bunker boots, his bunker pants, his bunker coat, his Nomex hood, his SCBA mask, his SCBA tank. He's connecting now. You can hear that noise. He's breathing air off the tank. He's got his helmet to protect his head. And he'll put his gloves on next to cover his hands. And when he's done, he's going to show me. I'm going to check him. So before you go into a burning building or a building with smoke, you always go in with partners. It's always 2 in, 2 out. So there's 2 people in, 2 people out, in case the 2 people inside get in danger of some type and they need a rescue. So what you do with your buddy is you always throw your hands up like this,
I look him over from his toes to his head. I don't see any skin. Everything's covered through here around his face. His hands are covered. His cuffs are tucked. He's breathing air, and he's ready to go. So he's breathing clean air off the tank right now. And a couple other things to make note of. He's got some tools with him to help him. If he has to go in and search, he's got a flashlight. He's got his radio that he can communicate if he needs to. He's probably got some tools in these pockets here, or these pockets here, that in case he would get tangled up in something, he's got cutters, he's got screwdrivers and things like that, that he can take care of something without having to go back out of the building or the structure to get more tools. So, do we have any questions about his gear?
I do want to know how heavy it is. It looks pretty heavy when you were putting it on.
You've got all of this gear on, including the air pack, the helmet, everything. You're about 75 to 80 pounds heavier than you are without all this gear. And I say 75 to 80 because it depends on what kind of tools you carry personally. Some people like to carry a rope with, it's called a bailout system, so they can bail out of the upper story. That adds a little more weight. Some people just carry a lot of maybe screwdrivers, cutters, wrenches, and things like that. That's your personal preference. So 75 to 80 pounds more.
So you guys each have your own gear?
Yes, everybody has their own gear. If he turns around, you'll see his name's on it.
All right.
As you notice, it's kind of hard to identify him just by looking at him. A lot of times I have to either look at the back to see who it is, or you can look at their helmet. He's number 54. So that's kind of what our gear consists of. And we wear that no matter how hot or how cold it is. That's always our number one priority, is to protect ourselves so we can help other people.
Awesome.
Yep. And the noise you heard, the beat. So he's shaking that right now. If he stands still for roughly 30 seconds, an alarm will go off. And that's to alert us that somebody's not moving. Typically, if you're at a fire and you're well, you're moving around. If something happens, let's say something would fall on him and knock him out or trap him, and he's laying for 30 seconds, this alarm will sound and it'll flash a light, and then it'll increase. Go ahead and shut off. So that's to alert us that, hey, something's wrong. We need to go look for that person, and the sound lets us know where they're at. These are gear racks, and they're specially made for bunker gear. And so that's to keep them aired out. So like when you're in those, you sweat a lot, no matter what the temperature is out. So you want to keep them aired out so they don't stink and things like that. And the thing is you can wash these, but you have to wash them with special detergent and in a special washer. You can't just throw them in a residential washing machine. We have a washing machine that's specifically designed for this clothing out at Station 3, which is out by Home Depot. So the idea is, as you can see, they're all open all the way around. And that allows air to flow through. You'll notice we have ceiling fans going in here all the time to keep air moving. And that keeps them dry and keeps them in good shape.
Awesome. And you guys each have your own cubby?
Everybody has their own rack. Some guys have their names on them, but as you can see, you can identify who it is by the name on their coats or the number on their helmet.
Awesome.
So some of our guys do choose to put their name up here, and that's what this little slot's for.
Nice.
Alright, this here is our ladder 1 truck. It's called ladder truck because of the giant ladder on top. We use to get into high-rise buildings or an area that is not easily accessible by the ground. This here is where the driver sits. He's got all his controls, the entire truck, and all his gauges right here in front of him, so he can manage the truck properly. Next we have the jump seats. We have 4 seats back here, so if we need to, we can put 4 firefighters back here and they can get ready back there. Here we have some tools. We have some shovels, extra gas tank, a couple of spanner wrenches. Spanner wrenches are what we use to put fire hoses together. And then up here, these are our pre-connect fire hoses. They're already connected to the pump, so all we have to do is pull the hose off, charge the line, and we're ready to go. And this here is the pump panel. Every handle has a specific job to a different part of the truck. So one handle here would connect to the hose up there, and so forth for every other water jug and a flare kit and some blankets to keep people warm if we would need to. Here is our hand tools. We have hammers and extra hose, and we have a breaker box to run the generator.
What would you need the generator for?
To run additional power sources. So we have electrical outlets that we can run fans or lighting if we need lighting inside of a house. One of these compartments will have the lights in it. But here are two different types of saws. This here is more like a chainsaw and it cuts through the roof. This one here will cut through concrete, metal, and such. And then these little compartments have extra SCBA bottles in them.
What did you call that?
SCBA bottles. And then we have extra fire extinguishers. Each one is a different type of fire extinguisher and puts out a different type of fire. We have some more SCBA bottle containers. There's a gas cap. And we have a hose clamp. If we would have a leak in a hose or need to shut a hose down without shutting the whole water source off, we can use this tool to shut the hose off. And here we have our aerial belts. We'll put these on if we're going to go up the ladder. It's got this giant hook on there so that we can lock ourselves in to the ladder. We won't fall so far. And this is how you get up to the ladder. And we have a control panel for the ladder up there. And to the back side, this is where we keep additional ladders and hand tools, pike poles, sledgehammers, and we've got different types of ladders also in here. And this compartment is the same way, just more ladders and more hand tools. And we'll move to this side, and this is where we keep a throw bag. We have a bag that's stuffed full of rope, and we can take the end out of the bag and throw it to the victim who needs rescue.
And they'll just hold on to the bag, or?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
And we have a couple of high-rise packs. These are what we use to go up and down the stairwells in some high-rise buildings and connect to the water system.
Do you have to use those often around here?
Not too often. We're lucky. We don't have real tall buildings here in Seymour, but we do have a couple, and they can come in very handy.
Awesome.
If needed. We can also take them to the top of the ladder and connect them up there and use them up there also. And there's a couple more throw bags and some tarps. And we use tarps to salvage people's personal belongings. If we need to clear a room out, we can try to protect some of their property. Here we have another high-rise pack with some additional lighting and a sprinkler bag that we can take with us when we take the high-rise packs to connect the hoses. And then here we have additional extra hoses. If we need to lengthen a hose, we have more hoses. We have more tarps. Here we have extension cords all rolled up real nice and neat, and we have a gas-powered fan that we can use to blow the smoke out of a smoky house or building or something. And this here is our medical compartment for this truck, which has a lot of our medical needs as far as anything that we would need for
first aid stuff.
Exactly,
and
the first aid kit. And here is our AED, which Some people, you'll probably see these at schools and on the walls of churches and things like that.
And those are used for people that are having heart conditions that need,
Yes. Alright, and then this is the other side of the pump panel where we can get more water, or where we supply the truck with water from the fire hydrant. And then here's some more safety cones and gas tanks and more spanner wrenches. And then, like I said, on the other side, we have our pre-connect hoses. Well, the way we load these up, we can pull them off either side of the truck and they'll work. And then, just like the other side, we have the other side of the truck for the jump seats. And we have additional tools in there also, pike poles, axes, flashlights, and safety vests. And here is the officer, is where he rides.
So he's not driving on this side,
Driving,
just riding
he's
with you?
in charge of getting us where we need to go, looking up where different connections are on buildings, and just in general information that we need to know on where we're going.
All right. Well, thank you.
There we go.
All right, that concludes the tour of Station 1 here at Seymour Fire Department. We are B shift at Station 1. We'd like to wish you all a wonderful day and stay safe. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
All right. So now that our tour is all done, I'm going to show you a fire experiment for our science part. So you are going to need water, a few small candles, something to light your fire with, and aluminum foil and a metal pan. So I'm going to start by pulling out my aluminum foil to the size of my pan and laying it down right here, right on top of my pan. And this is just going to prevent any wax from my candles from getting onto my cookie sheet, because I don't want any wax on the cookies that I might make later, because that would be pretty gross. So the next half of the video, you are going to need adult supervision and your adult to say, yes, we can do this. So permission and supervision, those are very, very important. So this next part will be for your adults. So adults, you are going to use something to make your wax wet, and you can see it's already dripping. I have this little tiny torch, so I'm just going to use that to place the candle right down. So I have 3 candles, and I'm going to do that to each of them. So just get the bottom nice and hot so the wax is all melted, and then let it cool while it's on the pan. Sorry, those are my cats. They don't understand what working from home is. Shoot! All right. So then now that I have all 3 of my candles down on my pan, you can see they are stuck. They're not going anywhere. I can take them, shake them around. They're staying upright. And we are going to talk about the 3 ways that a fire stays alive. So give me just a second. I'm going to turn off our light. All right, so now it's a little darker. You guys are going to be able to see our flame a little better. I'm going to go ahead and light our 3 candles. Remember, this is your adult's job. So thank you, adults, for helping. So I have 3 candles lit, and we're going to talk about what a fire needs to survive. So a fire needs 3 things. It needs oxygen, it needs heat, and it needs something to burn. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my water, and I'm going to take away the heat. So water is normally cold, and our water is cold. And I'm just going to drip right onto our first candle. And you can see now our fire has gone out. So we no longer have a flame on our first candle because we made it cold and wet. So a fire can't burn if it's cold or if it's wet. The next thing we're going to do is take away the oxygen. So a fire needs oxygen just like you and I do. So I'm going to use a small strip of aluminum foil to cover the top of this flame right here. Ooh, here we go. We're making sure our adult is doing this part too. And I covered the top of my flame, not letting any oxygen into it. And it also went out. So there we go. The next part is we are going to let this last candle burn until it's completely gone. So it's all gone. So once it is all gone, the flame will go out. So this is going to take a while. We don't want to leave a flame unattended in a room. So if you're doing this at home, you can start with a shorter candle. So you can cut your candle in half if you want to, or even like a little quarter of it. But I'm just going to hang out on the other side of the room, and we're going to wait for this guy to burn down, okay? See you in a little bit. So this has taken forever for me, but probably like 2 to 3 seconds for you guys. So you can see my candle is about halfway gone. And I thought that would be a good time to show you guys the smoke alarm. So you should have one of these in your house. It's super important. So if you have a fire in your kitchen or just in your house in general, you want to have a smoke alarm. It detects smoke in your house. And it makes a really loud beep, beep, beep when it hears, or when it detects the smoke. So I'm going to show you how to test it. And most of them have 2 buttons. They have a test and a turn off the smoke alarm because I'm burning bacon button. So to test your smoke alarm, you'll find the button that says push and hold to test, or it might just say test. So I'm going to do that now. It's going to be loud. So, loud beep. So, if you hear this at night, you might want to get up and check. And before you get up and just open your door, make sure you kind of smell the air. If you can smell smoke, you'll want to touch the back of your hand to your door and make sure it's not hot. If it is hot, there might be a fire outside of it. So just remember to be careful if you do hear a smoke alarm going off, and that you should test your smoke alarms. I believe it's every 6 months to make sure the battery is not dead. So if you don't hear the beep, it needs a new battery. And those are pretty easy to replace. Mine's right here on the front. So I push it down to open it. Takes the 9-volt battery. Push it back down. And you should get a beep once your battery is all good. So, let's see. We'll leave this fire to keep on burning. All right, so our candle has gone out, which is awesome. So we had 3 different ways to put out a fire, and the 3 things that a fire needs. Heat, so we used water to put it out. Oxygen, so we covered the fire to put it out. And then we took away its fuel, or we let it burn itself out. So there you go. I hope you guys get to try some of these at home with your adult supervision and their permission. And if you'd like to pick up a kit from the library, we have some fire safety materials. You can create an escape plan for your house and some other things. You can call and pick it up. And if you saw this video, be sure to thank your local fire department for, number 1, being a part of your community. And if you're from Seymour, thank the Seymour Fire Department for helping with this video. Bye!